What's up, you guys? It's yours right here, back with another New World video. Today I just wanted to make a quick guide on how to get your jewel crafting to level 200. I know a lot of people are rushing to get their trade skills up 200 before the next patch and the XP increase comes in. So pretty much I'm just going to show you guys how I did it. So first, all you can do pretty much is just create jewelry. There's no other way around it. So first you're going to want to create these flawed amulets. And to do this, first you're going to create 51 of these silver chains, 51 of these silver settings, and get 51 silver ingots, which is going to come out to a total of 510 silver ingots for that. And then you're going to want to get 51 of these cut flawed gems. Doesn't matter which one, doesn't have to be the opal. And if you're going to cut them yourself, you're going to need, I think, 102 motes to cut them yourself at the stone cutting table. And once you make 51 of these, you'll get to 50 just off of that. And once you get to 50, you're going to want to move up to the next tier. And you can make amulets or rings, doesn't really matter. And you're going to want to create 124 of them. So you're going to want to create 124 chains if you're making the amulets, or 124 bands if you're making the rings. And you are going to want to stick to silver, just because we're not really going for gear score, we're just going for pure XP. And then you're going to want to create the silver settings as well. And then 124 of the silver ingots just for this metal slot right here. And then 124 of these cut green gems. If you're going to cut them yourself, you're going to need 248 wisps, which is 1,240 motes to create those wisps. And then 248 of the solvent. Doesn't matter which kind. If you get the higher tier one, it does give you a better chance of getting some extras, but doesn't really matter. It's just whatever you want to use. And once you create 124 of these, it will get you to 100. And this is kind of when it starts to get expensive or super grindy. You're not going to want to jump up to these brilliant gems, because if you're buying all of this, this is going to be super expensive, because all these cut gems, on my server anyways, the minimum is pretty much 80 gold. And compared to these, if you're buying them, which is around like 10 gold, and you can create 2 of these and get more experience than you are getting creating 1 of these for a fourth of the price. But if you guys are farming the silver as well, you do get a chance to get these gems. You can get the flawed ones, which you can turn into these green ones, or you can get the green ones as well. I don't know if you get too many of the brilliant gems from silver. I think that's mainly from gold and platinum. You get a better chance of that. But I would just stick to the green jewelry, just because it is more efficient. And if you're buying all of this, it's going to be way cheaper. So anyways, guys, you're going to want to create 595 of these. And all this XP is including creating the chains and the settings. That is part of the XP. So you're going to want to create 595 of these chains or bands if you're making the rings, and 595 of the settings, and then 595 of the silver ingots just for the metal slot. So it's going to be a total of 5,950 total silver. And if you're cutting the gems yourself, it's going to be 1,190 wisps, which is starting to become a lot. That's going to be 5,950 motes and 1,190 solvent to cut these yourself. At this point, guys, I kind of just gave up on farming all of these and started buying tons of these gems already cut, just because they were not that expensive, especially if you are just sitting on a ton of money, which hopefully a lot of you guys are. Make this a lot easier. And then once you create those all those 595 amulets and rings, you'll get to 150, and from there I would still just stick to these green amulets and rings. And you're going to want to create 2,097 of them. You're going to need 2,097 silver chains or bands, 2,097 silver settings, and 2,097 silver ingots. It's going to come out to a total of 20,970 silver ingots. And 2,097 of these cut gems, which is going to be 4,194 wisps, 20,970 motes, which is why I would say just go ahead and start buying these gems as cheap as you can. Obviously, once they get too expensive, it's just not going to be worth it, but if they're cheap enough on your server, I would just buy these in bulk and start creating these. But I would create all these silver yourself as much as you can. Even if you are buying the silver ore, the silver ingots, it's still just to get the XP up on these. And it is cheaper on my server anyways. These silver chains are going for around 4 to 5 gold a piece. And same with the silver settings. And the silver ingots are going for around 50 cents. So it's about half the price of just buying these alone, and that's each. So it would pretty much be about 4 times the price than if you are creating them yourself. But then from then, if you do want to do something else, I did a combination of creating these amulets and rings, as well as creating this strong gemstone dust. I know I said not to create the brilliant amulets or rings, but that's just because the gems are really expensive cut. These are, you're going to use uncut gems, and it is super cheap on my server. They're going for around 4 gold a piece, so around 12 gold to create this. It was going for 900 Jewelcrafting right here. Jewelcrafting XP for around 12 gold, and you don't need any of the silver or anything, just the pure gems. So I started buying these in bulk, just the uncut brilliant gems, and creating these whenever I could if they were cheap enough. Again, this all depends on your server's market. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it to level it to 200. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys where I was farming my silver.